Good morning. How you doing today? I don't know if anybody would join on this channel. Not near as many subscribers here as there are on Modern Frontiersman. I don't think as many. Not even a small portion of subscribers have come over here and subscribed. YouTube still has me. Yeah, they took it down. They got me banned from going live. I thought it was for like 24 hours. I don't know what time it was I went live yesterday, but I tried on Modern Frontiersman just a second ago and it didn't work. YouTube hates me. But that's okay. That's why I have multiple channels. Michigan Silverback. What's up, man? Yesterday, y'all know I finished the holster. Now I'm working on the belt. After the live shutdown, I went for my ruck and recorded that video on my opinion on the dye ban, and I didn't do any more leather work. I didn't even start on the belt I needed to do. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm thinking about. So I'm thinking about doing a like a little video course on starting in leatherwork. I thought that would be something really cool. Something I could, and that's something I could add to the website as well, where like people could, basically check out and get the link to learn the basics of leatherwork. Of course, there's so much to leatherworking. Like a lot of it, like for me personally, like for me, for example, I learned a lot of it through just trial and error because I didn't even know, like when I first started leatherwork, I didn't even know it was really a thing. Like I didn't know it was there was like this whole, yeah, exactly, yeah. And I think I wouldn't charge much for it. I would charge something because I mean, it took me so many years to learn it. And, uh, uh, so why not? But turn that down a little bit so y'all can see my work. But charge something for your time. Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't do something crazy like like some of these people make online courses and then they charge like thousands and thousands of dollars, which is I think is retarded because that's something that's going to sell over and over again. So what I would probably do is like uh what I'm thinking about doing with it is making the price like as if I were teaching somebody in person. So for my hourly rate, right now my hourly rate on leather work is $25 an hour, uh, and which that's low compared to some leather work. I know of leather workers who are charging $50, $60 an hour. I personally know some. And I still don't think that's too much considering years of experience. Like it's the same as like anybody of any profession that's you know what I'm saying. You get it. But I think I'm going to charge for like as if I was just teaching somebody in person, and then that be the price. Not charging like freaking like some of these people charging $1,000, $2,000 for an hour long online course. That's ridiculous. Missouri Survival, morning, dude. So yeah, I'm working on this gun belt. This is really thick leather. Sometimes I make these cartridge belts a little bit thinner than like your everyday pistol belt, and this leather is so thick when you fold it over, like it ends up being like crazy thick, and it's hard to get the belt keeper and all that stuff in there. So I'm skiving this leather down to make it a bit thinner. I have a leather splitter out in my shed. It's got one long blade, and you put it in there and pull it through, and it shaves a part of the leather off. But man, it's for a lot of times for thicker leather, it doesn't work out very well. This blade isn't very sharp. Usually this stuff would just shave right off, but I don't think I have any blades right now for it. That's okay. I'll make it work. Just gotta put a little muscle into it. Actually, I would drive down to Birmingham and get some 8 to 9 ounce leather, which I have some, which is what I made the holster out of. I got a little school picnic to go to with my kids here in a few hours, so I don't have time to drive down there and get some leather. But I have some 8 to 9 ounce that, like I said, that holster is made out of, but it's not long enough for a belt. Just sell downloadable patterns. Yeah, dude, patterns sell. I had them on my website for a while. I think I want to put them back up. 7 to 9 ounce leather is about as thick as the middle worker. Yeah, when you get thicker than that, it gets really stiff and difficult. Let's say this is saddle skirting. This is the stuff the pistol belts are made out of, but I normally wouldn't use it for something like this. And I'm going to have to punch all the slots. This is a cartridge belt, so for 22. So I'm going to have to punch slots all the way down this belt and weave those cartridge loops all the way down as well. So this is going to be a job today, especially using this saddle skirting. But yeah, I'm thinking about putting my patterns back up. And people have told me before, like, oh, why would you put your patterns up? Because then people can just make your products and they don't have to buy them. Well, that's because most people are not actually going to make the item for one. And the people that do are just wanting to make them for themselves. They're not going to start a business. Even a lot of people who think they're going to, or that's what they want to do, they'll never actually do it. So, and I learned that from another leather worker on YouTube. And I asked him the same thing one time. It's like, bro, why don't you? Because I've talked back and forth with a lot of the big leather workers on YouTube, on Instagram, over the years. If y'all are familiar with Stock and Barrel, I've had conversations with him on the phone and stuff years ago, and that's one thing that they said to me. Was like, hey, don't be shy to sell your patterns, because most people aren't really going to do anything with them anyway. And it's not hard. If somebody really, really wanted to copy a leather pattern, they can. It's not hard. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've gotten things and thought, you know what, I want to make something like this. So I would buy an item, cut the stitching out, trace a pattern, and change it up to make it my own. And sometimes that's how I would get certain patterns, is by innovating and changing up and using somebody else's as a base to start with. I wasn't stealing their pattern. I was just using it as a starting point and then changing it. So it's not exactly the same thing. What's up, Practical Rifleman? This stuff's hard work. Making these cartridge belts are they'll get your fingers hurting. I think that's thin enough. I think I've got that down to about, this is probably down to about 8 ounce now. 7 or 8. Well, yeah, I'd say it's probably 8 ounce now. So it folds a little easier and a little easier to work with. did the same with a triple K holster. Yeah, I did that. Hey, thank you. Uh, Thanks for sharing it out like that. Yeah, I ordered to get my. Let me see. So I got this World War II's type 1911 holster. I uh I ordered one a while back, so like I had this pattern already, but I was trying to figure out how to make a tanker holster. So I ordered like some tanker holster from Pakistan, and which was a copy of the original 1911 holsters, and that's what I did. I cut it apart, and because you can't hardly find a pattern for some of those historic holsters online. Local barber does leather work between customers. Get your hair cut and pick up a holster. Nice. Knives are the same way. It's the same basic shape with a few design changes, but yeah, that's true. And pistols are the same way. I mean, holsters are the same way. Uh, it's like I've got just a few different like blue guns, like molded guns, and honestly, most I know people don't like one size fits all holsters, but a lot of times if I make a pattern for say a Glock and then I make a pattern for some other, pick any random gun close to the same size, even if it's that holster's not exactly the same size and it wasn't made for that gun, a lot of times both guns will fit in both in either holster. That's the thing I really like about leather holsters too is unlike Kydex, there's more flexibility, and you could have a holster that could possibly fit multiple guns. Maybe not always, but sometimes that is the case. It kills me too, like people. Sometimes when I post leather holsters, people on Modern Frontiersman, people are like, "Oh, nice holster, FUD." It's like, bro, like I've actually prepared a video on why leather has been critical for human survival throughout history and from the beginning of time, and why people wouldn't have survived, at least not as easily if it weren't for leather. And that leather isn't FUD stuff. It's been worked with from the beginning of time, and that probably won't cease. Plus, if we're talking about an SHTF event, like I've said before, I can continue to do this work whether the grid's up or not. I know how to tan hides. I've done it before. I can tan hides or get hides from somebody else, tan them, and continue to do leather work, no matter the grid situation or the current situation in the world. Let's see. I like to punch the holes before I dye stuff. That way the dye gets into those holes. If you dye it first, then what you end up with is, holes that are lighter than and not the same color as on the inside as the rest of the belt, and it just doesn't look as good. It doesn't have as good of a finish to it. So I'm punching the holes in the slot for the buckle. Some people use punches for these. I have punches, but sometimes I don't use them. And I don't use the punches. I just do everything with a knife if I'm on a video or live or something, because it's loud. And I don't know if anybody wants to sit here and hear bang, 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 bang. Yeah, that is true. The Minuteman crowd does have a lot of commercialism in its mentality, big time. That's why you're wanting to add leather work into your skill set, Grace. That's cool. Yeah, that's what I've said before. Is like people should pick up on trades and crafts that don't require modern technology for that very reason. Like the bevel, the edges that go in the buckle just makes it sit a little nicer. Kydex can break, not easy to repair. That's true. I've been preparing. I have a video prepared on that as well. Where I got a Kydex holster that I hate. I don't hate all Kydex holsters, but I have one specific Kydex holster that I hate, and I don't ever use it. So I've seen where people say that Kydex holsters are more durable. So I'm going to say, is that true? You know, will they break, or will leather holsters break? I'm going to run over the Kydex holster with my truck, knowing it'll crush, and then I'm going to run over a leather holster, and it'll just smash down and then come back to life. But not true. Uh, yeah, I want to try to script it and frame it in a comedic way. But I don't hate Kydex either, though. I think it has its place. Uh, and what'd you say? I used to be I used to be half owned owner in a knife making company. A buddy made handmade knives, and we did Kydex sheaths for them. I learned to make Kydex holsters on the side for a while. Local gun shop. Yeah, that's cool. There's a local Kydex holster dude near me, and he was selling my leather. So, dude wanted to sell my leather gun belts in his shop. And then I went and dropped him off. We recorded a video together and all this and that. And we were going to be in business together. Even though he was making Kydex holsters and I was making leather holsters, I didn't care because I didn't see it as competition because it's a different market. Like if you want a leather holster, you're going to get a leather holster. If you want a Kydex holster, you're going to get a Kydex holster. I think it depends on the application, what you're wanting it for, what you're doing with it. So I don't see it as a competitor. But this dude, he puts up my gun belts in his shop. He's a bit younger than me, but he puts his gun belts in my shop, or in his shop. And then I get home, I make a video advertising his shop. I go around and show everything in his shop, not just my gun belts. He sells lots of different things, and I record them and put them all in the video. And we're like, hey, y'all, stop by this shop, blah blah blah. He's made some great holsters. He gave me one in the process. I said, and he's also carrying my gun belts now too. And I left. I get home. I edit this video. I upload it to Fortners Front to this YouTube channel, and I look on Facebook, and the dude is posting stuff with leather holsters compared to Kydex holsters, talking about how leather holsters are garbage and this and this and this and that. And he's like, some people will tell you that blah blah blah, you should use a leather holster in this scenario and that, but leather holsters are outdated, and gave me was given this trench carrying type of attitude, and I was like, what, like, dude. Like we were just in the shop talking about working together and stuff, and now you're posting stuff that's it's like you're trying to hurt my business after we just were making a deal. It's like it was weird. So and then the crazy thing was that he sold a few of my belts. Those belts were stitched. They were double layered. So as you know, stitched behind that takes a lot of time. So these belts were like $120 a piece. These gun belts that I made. He sold several of them and never paid me. Every time I go to meet him to get the money, he wouldn't be there. He wouldn't be in his shop. Uh, and he would know I was coming. I would message him and tell him. See, he would read it. I'd start heading to his shop. I'd get there and the shop would be closed. So People's like, oh, you should have sued him or you should go get your money back. I was like, nah, I'm not even worried about it. Because if that's how the dude does business, see, this goes back to my libertarian mind. I don't want to sue the guy. I don't want to report him for anything. Because if that's how he does business, the free market will sort him out. And that's exactly what happened. Dude's shop is shut down now. His business doesn't exist anymore. A testament to the libertarian way of handling things. Serves us right. Yeah, yeah. So that's the thing. Is like I know, like yesterday, like that's how I think that's the best way to handle things is to let free markets and everything sort stuff out like that. And that was kind of my point. That's what I think is a solution to a lot of things, not more government intervention and stuff like that. And I know I got people all riled up yesterday with my opinion on the dye bans, and I don't care because it's my opinion. Everybody freely shares their opinion on YouTube as well, and I can do the same. Uh, but I knew that almost no one. I figured that I expected that no one would agree with that video. But I wasn't trying to make. I don't. It's not my goal to make videos just to get everybody to agree with me or to only make videos that people will agree with. Right? And I do think that a lot of stuff is people don't want to take responsibility. Uh, about to stamp the logo on there. You weren't even wound up about it. You just stated an opinion. Right? Exactly. Exactly. But like some people, I think are so sensitive, and I think a lot of people live in such an echo chamber. And one second, it's about to get loud for just a second while I hammer this. I have an arbor press over here, and I will press. Oh, you can see it. I got an arbor press way over yonder, on the other side of my table, and that's basically all I use it for is to hold that still, and I'll smack the top of it. To get the logo in there. But yeah, Fortner, you have no mods. This YouTube happy will send more scrollers. Oh, I didn't know that. Let me see. Add as moderator. Can manage block words. No, sir, we don't block words here. Can review and remove chat message. Yeah, we'll go with that one. There we go. Now we have a moderator. But yeah. Gets that in there. What do we got here? Random here, but just in case you do not know, Southern Prepper 1 has a lot of helpful tips in case things get worse in this country. Inevitable at this point, in my opinion. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm aware. Was it your name, Carlisle? Yeah, by the way, I have another channel, Modern Frontiersman. It's a prepper channel as well. This is my leatherworking channel, but I have the prepper channel as well because it's all related. It's all about self-reliance. For anybody that's new here, I know a lot of new people that are not subscribed get in. YouTube pushes these vertical live streams more. But this is Fortners Frontier Leather. Also have Modern Frontiersman. Thank you, Grit and Grace. She shared the link, but it's all about self-reliance. The only reason I separated the two, because I do believe that these things are related. My leather work is made for the modern frontiersman. The only reason I separated them is so this channel doesn't get shut down if my other channel gets shut down for me saying something that the powers that be don't like. You know, I started the other channel when all this whole cancel culture bullshit started up, so that this channel didn't get shut down. And I was glad I did, because I've got smacked with misinformation before. Yeah, absolutely. Grit and Grace, where did you, speaking of which, where did you come from? Where did you find my channel? Was it through Red Dawn, or was it through Twin Arrow Survival, or did you just find it on your own? I'm always interested to know. Yeah, I know how to pin messages. I'm not a noob. I just usually don't think to make people moderators, honestly, because that's all. Like, I just don't. I don't think about moderating things. I didn't even know it helped with the algorithm and stuff. Because I don't. Oh, okay. Twin Arrow. Oh, I found you through Prepared Citizens, giving you a shot. Oh, okay, okay. Do I know how to green screen? Yeah. I just don't, because I don't really have a need to. Okay, now, oh, sorry, y'all can't even see what I'm doing here if you care to, but I'm now marking the hole or places for the cut this belt to length. So this dude was a size 40 pants, he said. People tend to give me pant sizes. That's not exactly accurate, but over the years, I've been able to figure out I've been able to work with that with pant sizes. A lot of things I've figured out. Yeah, yeah, making it. It's a gun belt, a cartridge belt. But I've been able to figure out how to work with, just kind of guessing and eyeballing stuff. And bro, like I've made so many knife sheaths without even having the knife. Like I can usually work by measurements now. Somebody measure at the hilt, measure down more near the tip of the blade. Just the tip. I can work with that. And I've never made a knife sheath that didn't fit, which is wild because I do them all the time without ever even seeing the knife. So what I'll do is somebody will tell me the measurement. I will get my poster board, which is what I make. I make patterns with poster board, and I'll just measure that. Like say if the hilt is 2 inches, I'll just draw a 2 inch line and say, oh, towards the bottom it's 3 inches, and I'll just start drawing a knife down to that measurement, and it always works. You've done this so many times you don't even have to trace it out before you cut. Yeah. Yeah. Look at that. I just chopped that out with a knife. It almost looks like it's done with one of these, a belt tip cutter, but that wouldn't have worked because this leather's too. This is why this is for inch and a half belt. This is a 2-inch belt. So I don't have a 2-inch strap cutter. For those that don't, or belt tip cutter, these things are freaking expensive. I invested in one for 1.5 inch for regular belts because it was worth it, because then I can just chop it out. But these things are like, I want to say these things are like $60 a piece. When you start getting into like more specialized leather tools, shit gets retarded expensive. Like for example, let's see. I mean, this horseshoe brush I think was like $40 for. I mean, horsehair brush. It's ridiculous. I had a leather working knife. Let's see, I don't know if I still have it. I think I threw it away because I stopped using it, because I found that using a box cutter was the best way to go. But I had a leather working knife. It was like $75 for a knife. The blade was about this long and it was just angled just right, but I couldn't keep it sharp. It's easier and more economical and more efficient to just use a box knife and change the blade. Now I have to change the blades pretty often. But those that don't know, you got to have a really sharp knife with leather work. Otherwise, you're gonna be working yourself to death, and you're just not gonna get as clean a cut. So I make sure. Usually, like when I finish I use this blade for this holster, and I'll use it for this belt, and then I'll flip it around and use the other side. I only will use the blade usually for one or two, just a few projects, and then I'll flip it or use a different blade. Does a 2-inch fit a standard belt loop on jeans? I have heard people. I was thinking of. I got clothes and stuff in here too. Like I've got stuff all over the place, but I don't know. Well, yeah. Let me see. I honestly don't know. I don't think so. Okay, I'm wearing shorts right now. This belt won't fit in the belt loops on my shorts, but I've heard of people who wearing jeans with a 2-inch belt. I don't know, but this belt isn't really for wearing in your jeans. This is gonna be a cartridge belt, so. I never finished showing y'all that book I had yesterday, did I? Because they shut me down right when I started showing y'all because I picked up the pistols. Now I'm going to bevel these edges. I know I've seen a lot of people do stuff really slow and carefully on YouTube, but once again, like I said, once you get into once you start doing leather work where you can get into that flow state, then you're able to do stuff without thinking. You know exactly what angle to turn that tool. I'm going to look at y'all's comments here in a second. I see y'all are saying something, but I'm going to finish this real quick, then I'll check. But when you've done leather work for a long time, you know what works and what doesn't, and how fast you can go on certain things and not. Make you a strop and shave your blades, brother. Yeah, there could. But I mean, I got a 50 pack of these blades up there, and it's like what? It's like $5, in between $5-10 for a 50 pack of box blades. So I don't think it's worth the time. I mean, I could, like if I had to. Like I say, if we're talking about a grid down scenario or something like that, yeah, I absolutely would. And I absolutely can. I've done it. What are your thoughts on a battle belt? Would it really be beneficial if things get really bad? I just think having a normal, good gun belt would be good enough. I agree. Yeah, I agree. Uh, I think it depends on what's going on and what you're doing. Of course, as always, context always matters. Um, are you carrying a bunch of stuff under your belt? Which even then, it doesn't really matter because you can. I mean, you can just run the belt through the straps on the on the molly and stuff. I've done that. Like my, I don't have it in here, but my Alice gear. People ask me, like, oh, I see you did some mods on that Alice gear. Tell us about that. And I haven't done that yet. People saw when I was down there with Randall from Grunt Proof in Mississippi when we were out there patrolling. Uh, People saw that I had modern, like Molly pouches on my Alice gear, and they were like, "Oh, what kind of mods did you make?" I didn't make any mods. I just ran it under the, through the loops. Like that. That's all. That's all. Uh, so yeah, I mean, I don't. There's nothing wrong with just using a leather belt for carrying your gear. Nothing at all. The only thing to keep in mind is that if leather gets soaking wet, that can get to be a problem. And that's the only reason on my combat gear I don't typically use a lot of leather. Uh, but you think about it on the other hand, I mean, once again, you know, I mean, Marines were island hopping with it, wearing these holsters, doing amphibious campaigns. So as long as you take care of it, that's the only thing. Is people you get leather stuff and then they're like, oh well that didn't hold up. Like this dude literally bought a belt for me one time, and he said he messaged me later on and said, sorry, Grit and Grace, I was looking trying to see what you were seeing what that link was you sharing. You sharing Grunt Proof, okay? Uh, um, But dude buys a belt from me, and then he emails me a couple weeks later, and is like, "Hey, I need a refund or a new belt." And I said, "Oh, what did it not fit you? Did I do something wrong?" No, I accidentally washed it in the washing machine and it fell apart. I'm like, yeah, no shit, dude. You don't put your freaking leather belt in the washing machine. He's like, well, I had another leather belt that I washed once and it was fine. I was like, yeah, because it probably wasn't real leather. Yeah, exactly. Not my freaking problem. Like, bro, you can buy another one, but I'm not giving you another one for free because you're an idiot. You know, sorry guys, but if you're watching this in the future and you're a future customer, here at Fortner's Frontier Leather, the customer is not always right. Sometimes, and most of the time, they're dead ass wrong. Uh, yeah, probably pleather. Yeah, for sure. Does everybody on here right now? I might do a demonstration if anybody uh, answers to the contrary. But does everybody that's here right now know what the difference? Know what? No, does everybody know about? Apparently, I'm retarded this morning. Full genuine leather. Do y'all know like the real deal with things that are labeled genuine leather? We need to bring that back. 100%. Yeah, yeah. I don't coddle customers. If I also had a dude one time that showed up and said he buys a shoulder holster. I make him a shoulder. By the way, what I just did, I just set my strap cutter to a 1/2 inch to cut out belt keeper. That's all. But this guy, he buys a shoulder holster from me. And he may be watching this right now, and that's okay because I don't care, because I don't want him as a customer ever again anyway. So he buys a shoulder holster from me on Etsy. By the way, I have an Etsy shop as well. You can look up, I think it's just Fortners Frontier on Etsy. But also, modernfrontiersman.com, if anybody here's new. He buys a shoulder holster. And I should have known not to do it, because he messages me and says, I want this holster to be perfect. And I told him from the get-go, I was like, well, no holster is going to be, it's not going to be perfect. I don't know how to do perfect leather. I don't know how to do perfect anything, because I'm not perfect. And I should have known when he said that not to even do any work for him. That I did anyway. So I made him this holster. It was this really obscure, strange shoulder holster from some show from the 50s, some futuristic show, or from the 70s. And I don't remember what it was. It's a weird looking shoulder holster. But I made it. I tried it on. It fit. He said, hey, I'm size extra large. I said, okay, I'm extra large. I can fit it to myself. It had plenty of room, about this much room for adjustment. That should have been plenty enough room. I sent it to him. Make it out of I used the strap. On the straps, I used 4 to 5 ounce leather, which was about like this. It's thin leather. It's not anything crazy. I made the holster and the main shoulder harness out of 8 to 9 ounce leather, which is like this, standard. I sent it to him. I oiled it and everything, made sure it was really pliable, very comfortable. I mailed it to him. About like a month later, he emails me, or he messaged me on Etsy, and he says, hey, this holster isn't what I wanted. And I was like, what do you mean it isn't what you wanted? Did it not fit? It fits. I said, okay, did it not fit the gun? Yeah, it fits the gun fine. It's just not comfortable enough to me, and it's not perfect. I was like, okay, what do you want? What do you want me to do? And he said, I demand a replacement because I demand perfection. And I was like, well, I'm not going to replace it. And he said, well, I'm sending it back to you, and I demand a refund. And I was like, you can send it back to me if you want, or you can just keep it. But either way, I'm not giving you a refund, and I'm not replacing it, because I told you from the get-go, I don't do perfect. If you want perfect, then go find somebody else who thinks they're perfect, because you're not going to find a perfect leather worker, and you're not going to find perfect products. So he sends me back the shoulder holster. I ended up basically just throwing it away, and I cut it apart and used some of it for different parts for different stuff, because I couldn't sell this custom shoulder holster to somebody else. Nobody would, and probably never again will anybody ask me for that exact type of shoulder holster, because it was so different and so out there. And that's what people don't get a lot of times. Like, I made something custom, and you're complaining because it's not perfect. What? So, and then he messaged me again about a month later. And yeah, Grit and Grace, you were right. Etsy sides with customers every time. It doesn't matter if they're right or wrong. They always side with customers instead of the sellers. And that has made me so mad. Like, that's why my shop was down for a long time, because of people like that. And then they would just immediately issue refunds without even giving me the time to respond to the person. That happened to me the other day. A guy messaged me and said, hey, I'm still waiting on my item. And I was like, yeah, hey, I'm working on it now. I had to wait on some materials to come in. Well, instead of just messaging me about it, he filed a, what do you call it? Like a complaint or whatever, or a help request. And when that happens, Etsy gets it. And it hadn't even been 24 hours, and Etsy messaged him and gave him a refund. It's not even what he asked for. He just wanted to know where his item was. And he said he stated in the message that he still wanted the item. He just wanted an update. So Etsy was like, "Hey, so and so, sorry for your wait. We have issued a refund on the behalf of the seller, and we hope you have a better experience next time," or something like that. And I was like, "What the fuck?" And I emailed Etsy and I was like, "Hey, dude didn't even ask for a refund. He was just wanting an update on his order. Like, stop issuing refunds to people when you haven't even given me 24 hours to respond, and you just immediately issue him a refund, and that's not even what he wanted. That's so stupid." And, they're I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to keep the customer satisfaction up, but bruh, it seems like a bot's running it or something. It probably is, or these people are just stupid, and they're just hurt. They're just trying to hurry and issue refunds and please the customer as quickly as possible, even if that's not what the customer asked for. It's absolutely ridiculous. Those kind of people are looking to be a problem just to entertain themselves. Yeah, that's right. But the dude with the shoulder holster, after I told him no, Etsy gave him a refund. Did that happened as well? And that was several years ago. And then about a month after that, he messages me again on Etsy and asks me to make him a perfect belt. And I said, "I don't do work for you anymore." And that's all I said. And he's never messaged from me or ordered again. It was like, because I refuse to do any work for someone who demands perfection in that way. Yeah, and like you said, they're you already know they're just going to be a problem. Yeah, push up for sellers to do free shipping. You don't show up until it's paid. Yeah, yeah. The free shipping thing has irritated me. They keep going up and up and up on their charges, on their fees. And I'm not like other people. Some people are like, "Oh, Etsy shouldn't be." Some people say Etsy shouldn't be charging anything. They shouldn't be charging their sellers. I don't agree with that. Like Etsy, they're providing a service for the sellers and giving us a platform. But when they're continuously going further and further up on the fees that they take from your sales, bro, it's getting like where I can't understand the fees anymore. I can't understand it. Because, like, I mean, like the other day, when I sold an order for $120, and I shipped it. Customer was happy and everything. I get my Actually, a couple days later, I get the payout for it, and I got the payout was like $70. It's like I made $120 sale, and I'm getting $70 of that sale. Like, where did the rest of that go? Like the fee shouldn't be that high. Yeah, their fees are like 30% now. Yeah, they just keep going up higher and higher. Had similar issue with a leather bag I made for a woman. Went over and over what she wanted. Sent her pics when done. She loved it. Then I sent it, and she needed to return it. Ridiculous. Yeah, sounds right. It's crazy. People are so weird, and they expect you to do stuff for them that it's weird too, because like they'll expect you to do stuff for them that they don't get at any other store. People like a guy literally messaged me the other day and said he wants something custom made, but he wants me to send him a picture of this custom item before I make it. I'm like, did you just hear what you said? Send me a picture of my holster before you make it. It's a custom holster. How the hell can I send you a picture of it before it's ever made? It doesn't exist yet. It's like, what are you talking about? And then he said, and also, can I pay you once it comes in the mail? I was like, no, I won't even start on it until you pay me. But I want to make sure I like it first. Okay, when you order something from any other website online, do you get to pay them after you get it, or do they only ship it once you've paid? I'm not, like, well, why are you coming to me thinking you get special treatment at Fortner's Frontier Leather and that we do things just totally backwards from the way every other online business works? It's so weird. Like, let me pay you after the fact. Oh, I'm gonna go to Walmart and I'm gonna buy groceries and then I'm gonna tell them hey, I'll come back and pay you in a week, okay? I'm gonna take this food home. I'm gonna eat it. I'm gonna cook all my meals, and then I'll come back and pay you. Is that okay, Walmart? Don't look at me like I was an idiot. It's the kids in society that were never told no. Just my opinion. Yeah, that could definitely be it. And they don't have a clue about quality leather. Yeah, that's true. What were you, Grit and Grace? What were you selling on? What were you selling on Etsy? Hold on, I'm gonna put this up. Western wear shop. Cool. You like how I got all this random stuff everywhere? So I gotta get stuff out of here. So it's like I got my chest rig and my leaf suit over there. I got freaking suit jackets hanging here because I don't have anywhere to put stuff. And then a dude gave me some like winter jackets and stuff recently. I'm gonna give some to the VFW, but I got like a ton. I got all kind of crap in here that has nothing to do with leatherwork, and I need to start getting stuff out of this shop. Made bullet jewelry. That's cool. Let's see. All right, I'm going to dye this stuff now. I don't think anybody answered my question. Does everybody here, not the people that do leather work, but does everybody here know about genuine leather, what the deal is with genuine leather? If not, I can do a demonstration and show you because I have that prepared to do a video here on this channel about that as well. You don't know, Missouri, sir? I'll show you here in a second. You don't know? They are, that genuine leather term is deceiving. By the way, I probably, with a lot of times with some belts, I won't even, with this Western, or this like Western gun stuff, like these cartridge belts and things, a lot of times I won't burnish the edges on them all the time. I probably won't on this one. Uh, Probably just gonna dye the edges and that's it. I found that some people say that it makes a big difference, that it protects the leather and all that, but I don't actually believe that it does uh, as much as people think it does. I mean, it does protect the leather. It does do a little bit, but over time, that edge coat starts chipping off and everything anyway, and just has to be recoated. I have belts that like I've used for camping and stuff like that, and straps on packs that I've made that I never burnish the edges or anything on. They're still holding up fine. a lot of times for outdoor gear too that I'm using for camping, I have a few pouches and things that I don't use. If it's something I'm not going to put a gun in, I'll use chrome tan leather and not use veg tan leather, because chrome tan leather, with the chemicals and everything in it, and a lot of times it's just full of oils and stuff. It resists the elements a little better. I have some chrome tan leather over here, not much, because I only really use it for bags and things like that. But Michigan Silverback, thanks for stopping by. Have a good one. I forgot to punch my my holes before I dyed this. I just got done saying that that's what I normally do just a minute ago, but it's okay. I can dye those holes after I punch them. I'll probably just go back over the whole thing again. I usually go over the belt two or three times with some dye. I'll dye always make the keeper a little long, then cut it and dye it and cut it to length, but I've already cut this one to length. Dye the keeper here. Alright, we'll set this to the side to dry for a moment. Some leather workers I know will wear gloves. I don't care. It shows my work on my hands. So, full grain leather versus genuine leather. So, what we have here, this is a full grain leather belt. This is one of my belts from my luxury brand. A lot of y'all don't probably even know about Jazz Marie, which is named after my daughter. And I have a separate luxury brand, a separate brand that I do luxury items. So this is a full grain leather belt. The one I'm working on now is full grain leather, meaning it is the full thickness of that animal's hide. Well, you can see, I'm going to have to actually slick this down, but this is one solid piece of leather. It is the full grain of the hide. Same as this belt. It's a little thinner, but this is the full grain. So if it's full grain, you cut through it, it still looks the same, you know. It's all just one solid piece of leather. Now, this is a belt from the DG. Had a tag on it saying genuine leather. I bet it's on the back here too. This actually says bonded leather. Sometimes they'll say bonded leather along with genuine leather, or it'll just say genuine leather. But with genuine leather, all that means is there is some real leather in it. It's not necessarily full grain. So, as you see, these belts have two pieces stitched together. I can guarantee you just about, and I'm going to do this in a separate video, but I can almost guarantee you that if I cut into this belt, this is and I'm just going to call it out, this is a polo belt. Uh, genuine leather polo belt. But I can guarantee you that when I cut into this belt, there's going to be something in here that is not leather, or this is not just one or two solid pieces of leather. So let's cut through this stitching. Probably have to cut some of this stitching loose on the sides. Oh, would you look at that? Leather doesn't tear like that. Look on the inside. See all this fuzzy stuff that doesn't even look like leather? It's because it's like a veneer. Yeah, well, see, remember earlier when I was skiving this belt down because it was too thick and I got all these shavings off? That's what this is. It's this. It's like that presswood like stuff, like the crappy plywood like you get from places. It's all these shavings glued together and then pressed back in together into a solid piece. So it's terrible quality. It's basically scraps just all smushed together and then stitched together. And then people wonder why the genuine leather belts fall apart. Because they are not solid leather. They are not full grain leather. They're not quality. They're scraps from other items swept up off the floor and then smushed back together again. And I don't totally hate the idea of them doing that. I think it could have some uses in some items and things, but when it comes to things that are getting heavy use, I don't think it's good. And the term genuine leather really is just it's sort of deceptive. It's like, okay, well, how can we make these people feel like yeah, exactly. It's a leather chicken nugget. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. It's just smushed up trash. It's like a hot dog. So from now on, when somebody tells you, well, this is genuine leather, that means it's not good quality. If it's full grain leather, excuse me, then it's good. Y'all see my, if y'all ever noticed from Modern Frontiersman live streams, this is a cup from Cracker Barrel. This is the only cup I use. But yeah, nobody knows that really about for a large part, about genuine leather. So my dad sometimes, and I love him. He gets excited and he wants to advertise business, and he's proud of me for a lot of things, and I like that. But sometimes he will tell people like, "Yeah, my son does leather work. If you need a good holster or belt, and it's genuine leather. He makes genuine leather products." I'm like, Daddy, stop telling people that because most people don't know. But just leave out the genuine leather part. Just tell them that I make leather products. That's right, full grain leather. But most people don't know the difference, so it really doesn't matter. It's just a pet peeve of mine because I do leather work. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for a smoky treat while the dye dries. moisture in the air. I'm gonna look over top of my barrel. It's froggy. What? Really? That was weird. Oh, it's probably because I probably had my finger over the microphone. I was just saying it's been a little humid. It's gotten really turned into a freaking jungle around here. But let's walk out in the backyard for a minute. Go for a little walk. But you know, even though it feels like fall there. By the way, guys, you're going to see a behind the scenes of Modern Frontiersman. Right here on the side of my house is where my little outdoor studio is. Right here. I just put it right here where you can't see the window or the door there with this tin with my table that I built. But I have like an old-timey light bulb up there. But I'm actually going to do the whole house. I did the back part of the house in this tin, and I'm gonna actually cover the whole house in it. But looks like people dropped out of here, but that's okay. I just on here live for anybody that wants to hang out, really. But for anybody that just popped in here, we're just waiting on the leather to dry, and we're gonna go back in and start putting it together. Got some cabbage growing right here. Potatoes are popping up good. They got some bell peppers. Yeah, exactly. Less upkeep with the tin. We moved into this house, and the front half of the house, the siding was really grimy and nasty, and I've pressure washed it, and the wind blows it off. Like it keeps breaking when there's strong winds and stuff, and it's just trash. And thought, you know what, I like the look of tin. I like those like shed type looking houses, or the barn looking, what people call like barn dominiums and stuff, and I like the look of that. The backside of the house isn't bad. The siding doesn't look bad, but I'm going to replace it all with the tan. Cool thing about this house too is a lot of people don't know when they pull up that this is actually a trailer to mobile home that's been added onto and then bricked in on the bottom. It's pretty sturdy. A lot of trailers, a lot of mobile homes you go in, you can bounce, and you can hear the bump and the shake of the house. This one, you can't tell. When you're walking around inside, you can't even tell you're in a trailer, that you're in a mobile home estate. But got peaches growing out here. This is the first year we'll have peaches on this tree. I got some stuff really close to the house. Planted this tree right behind the house. One, a little bit of shade, and two, you just walk out here and pick peaches. Cooking breakfast. Heck yeah, bro. I haven't even ate. I got to go to a little lunch for kids for picnic at school, and I'm just not going to eat. I haven't ate much. Like I said, I haven't ate very many processed foods over the last, I haven't hardly ate any processed foods over the last 2 weeks. But I'm going to get a pizza for the kids for a little lunch today and have a little cheat meal. I think people go too hard on dieting and stuff, and then they quit because it's not sustainable, and they don't allow any wiggle room, as if they're not going to burn off that those extra calories. I got these flowers are pretty. I don't even know what that is. I when I first, I don't I haven't showed I don't show my house very much. If I do, I only show the back. I never show the front of my house where people can see from the road or anything. But when we first moved in here, there was a ton of trash out here. You still see there's some, but I've over the past few weeks, uh, I've been really cleaning this up because for years, this this was literally like head high. This whole area. So there's my shed. All this entire area in this little dugout hillside here was all just completely full of trash. And so when we moved into the house, it was an absolute disaster. Got it on tax auction and took everything out of the house. Literally just gutted the house. Uh, people had been, people hadn't lived here in like 5 years. And it had a glass door on the front. And the door had been busted in because people were probably coming in, hanging out, probably in here doing freaking meth and stuff. The dude that lived here before, I guess, got arrested for drugs and ended up losing the house, and or I guess the county took it. So he had cut wires. They had destroyed everything, and coyotes had been denning up inside the house. Yeah, Methany was all up in here on her on her shit. But uh, we gutted the house because it was disgusting. There was some carpet in there that just had coyote crap just smeared all in it. Dirty diapers piled up in rooms. Jars of food that was just putrid, just disgusting. So I just gutted the entire house. I was like, you know what? We're gonna bust this thing down to the studs, and we're replacing everything. I ripped the sink out, ripped all the toilets out, ripped everything out of the house until it was just the subfloor, which a lot of that got replaced eventually too. And I took everything from outside the house and I just piled it here. There was already trash here. I was like, I'm just gonna pile it up right here because we moved in. As soon as we gutted everything, we moved in. I gutted it all. There was nothing in the house. We didn't even have power yet. We didn't have power for, I don't know, like a month. We had no power or running water. So, but this was in exactly the location I was wanting to move to from the time I got out of the Marine Corps. So I got really, I was going to say lucky, but it was really a blessing because my family lives right down the road. There's a sawmill down there. Everything exactly where I wanted to come back to when I got out of the Marines. And so I'd only been out of the Marine Corps like 3 years, I guess, or so. Well, no, it was longer than that. But anyway, I ended up moving in here because I was like, you know what? I'm not passing this up. This is perfect. It's like, depending on what you look at, it's between 3.5 and 5 acres, and the house for $16,000. So I was like, you know what? I don't care what kind of work needs to be done to it. I don't care what condition it's in. I'm buying it, and we're moving in. And I'm glad I did, and that goes back to what I said yesterday, what I was talking about yesterday about accountability and getting out of debt, and that being a huge step towards self-reliance. Is everything's paid for. This house is paid for. My truck is paid for. I have zero bills. So between the VA, between my little part-time job and the leather work, I don't really have to worry so much about paying bills or just getting by. All the money I make is food and gas and the kids and whatever else. You know, I don't have to worry about paying rent or paying a house payment or paying a car payment right now and all that kind of stuff. My credit is terrible. And it's not even because I ran up a lot of debt. It's because I just haven't used my credit because I don't buy anything on credit. Matter of fact, I had a Lincoln when I was working at my last job. I want to say I'm 38 now. Since I I was 18. I bought an Impala when I was in the Marine Corps. And since then, since I bought that car when I was 18, when I first got back from Iraq, or I was 19 at the time, I think I've bought nothing with credit. So like my credit score is terrible. It's just because I haven't used it. That's some bullshit, ain't it? How that works. Yeah, life is a lot less stressful that way. And I never want to. I don't plan on ever moving from here. A lot of people wouldn't want to put in the work that I had to when we moved into this house, but to me, it was completely worth it. The weather is warm. I don't know. It's not warm. It's not cold either. I don't know. It's probably 60 to 65 right now. It's not bad. There's a little cool breeze because it's been rainy and windy, but it's good. Plus, you're growing your own food. Helps out the grocery bill. Yeah, that's right. We usually right here. So I've built a fire pit here now. This is actually all cemented together. Me and the kids built this the other day, right in the middle of the backyard, as a place to sit and have fires. And I want to start recording some videos out here too. Maybe set up the camera over here by the fire, and I'll sit over there on Modern Frontiersman. We'll have some chats. But usually I would have a whole basically the whole backyard would be a garden. It's still kind of tilled up, but the whole backyard was a garden. Then I always have another garden down there, right here in this flat spot in front of that boat. But I still got to till all that up down there, and I'm going to plant the stuff I have in planters down there. I think stuff doesn't grow good up here. Stuff grows way better down there. I think all the nutrients run down the hill. And then I have, you see this little trail that goes behind my shed up there on the hill? That's where I'm building a little cabin. I had a tent up there. I've done some videos up there, but that's where I shoot. When you see content of me shooting, you see targets on the tree right there, but off to that side behind the shed, it goes further up a steep hill up to the road, but that's where I have my little range set up. But building a little cabin back there, and I've done a few videos, I think, with the fire burning up there at the edge of the woods. But yeah, you see here, I got more stuff. I just built this deck a few months ago. I got a lemon tree, no, orange tree and a lime, orange tree and a lemon tree. And I got more, bell peppers, some cucumbers, everything. Cucumbers right here in this planter. I'm just gonna let them hang down off the porch and leave them in this planter. But they've popped up really well with this rain. Then up here I got tomatoes, more pepper plants, a big tomato plant, strawberries, peppers, cherry tomatoes, and then I'll put, I always grow a bunch of okra, so I'll have a lot of okra down there. Okra, I like growing okra because okra grows like crazy, and it'll grow anywhere, you know. And you don't got to worry about watering it. Okra, being an African plant, is really perfect in the deep south because it's made for hot and arid, or it grows well in hot, arid environments, which it's not so much arid here. You know, it's more, this is subtropical, whatever, but you know what I'm saying? In the summertime, when it gets really hot and goes a while without raining, that okra does just fine. Yeah, I planted my tomatoes and everything. Oof. All those little plants I just showed you on the porch, I planted those probably a month ago or so. maybe a little longer. But with them, I left them out on the porch so they could get some of this rain. And it's made everything pop up really well. Those potato plants that I showed you in those planters, man, they grew like 2 or 3 times what they were. They were just barely sticking out of the ground a couple days ago. Now that you saw, they're like I don't know, 8-9 inches tall. It sucks how, like in videos, everything looks a little smaller. Like to me, even like our land looks smaller than it looks in person. It's weird. I hate that too, because when I'm out hiking and stuff, and even right here, you can't really tell how steep everything really is. Everything looks smaller than it actually is. I got this freaking boat sitting here. I got to do something with that. It doesn't run. I took the motor off of it because it's all trashy. Somebody actually gave it to me as payment for cleaning up scrap metal out of their yard, which once again goes back to, like I was saying, about responsibility and doing what you can to be self-reliant. I do little odd jobs here and there like that. I got a trailer a few months ago and started hauling scrap metal for people, and I made enough money off of scrap metal to pay off that trailer in no time. People make a lot of excuses for stuff, for real. As to why they can't do things. Let's see. Tighten this thing back up. So, all right. Back in the workshop. So, what's everybody else up to this morning? We know Chris is cooking breakfast. Leather stapler for the just for the belt keeper. And that's the only thing I use the leather stapler for. I just put 2 staples in there, hold the belt keeper together. Later on, I'm going to build some more raised beds. Nice. Beds. Getting ready to brush my teeth. Take a shower before my VA appointment. Fun. Yeah. How's your VA? I don't know where you are, but the one down in Birmingham, here in Alabama, it's been really good to me. They've been great. Like, a lot of the complaints about the VA don't apply at the Birmingham VA from my experience. Waiting storms to hit. Had a covered roof today. House yesterday. Last summer. Chris, you been off work? I noticed you were at home yesterday too. Jordan, working my wife away in a warehouse. Just caught the live. Nice. Forgive me if I don't recognize your name, but are you have you been a subscriber? Are you subscribed to Modern Frontiersman, or are you from one of these other guys' channels? I don't know what it is, but this dye that I've been using, it's being sticky. I don't know why. This holster that I made yesterday that y'all saw me making, it just now dried. Like, last night, I got home from work and it was still a little bit sticky. I don't know what it is with this dye, but this belt is a little sticky too. It's kind of abnormal for leather dye to make the leather sticky. Yeah, maybe the humidity. Been following channel for years. Oh, okay. Sorry, man. Jordan Bate. Well, yeah, I do recognize your name. Sorry. I'm sorry if I don't. I feel bad sometimes when I don't recognize people's names on there. But then if I would probably go back and actually, like, if I were to go to Modern Frontiersman, go to you, and then see the comments you've left, then I'd probably remember you. But there's so many comments. Uh, it's hard to remember everybody's usernames unless they also have other channels uh, and have talked back and forth quite a bit. I put usually before. A lesson I've learned is yes, sir. Uh, a newborn calf. Oh, you were like a newborn calf. That's funny. Oh, there's not much to disagree on. Yeah, that's cool. And I don't mind if there is, honestly, man. Like, I don't care at all if people disagree with things I say. I just share my thoughts, my opinions, my experiences, whether people agree or not. That's like I was talking about yesterday. And it's like I'm a libertarian. Okay, I am set on, and I stand firm on my principles. I don't change them uh, unless I learn, that they don't apply or they don't work or what have you. And I don't expect everybody to agree with everything I say. I mean, like with the video yesterday about the food dyes. I believe like in those libertarian principles. I truly do, and I have for quite some time. I really discovered that had a libertarian way of thinking shortly after I got out of the Marine Corps. When you're young, you don't really know what you think. Some people go through that phase where they think they're a social, or they're strict communists, and people like rocking Che memorabilia and stuff because they see it as anti-establishment and all that stuff, but they don't really know what they stand for. And I think I didn't really either until not long after I got out of the Marine Corps and realized it was very much libertarian. And I know a lot of people, even people who are supposedly, conservative or more Republican leaning, uh, you know, say you believe in, small government and stuff, but don't really agree to the point of that we, libertarians do, of literally very, very minimal government interference and things. I truly believe, like I was talking about yesterday, that free markets and an educated people can figure things out for themselves without governments being there to protect them and put laws into place to keep them safe. Right, Chris. Like that's the way I see it too. I mean, I have principles and I stick by them. Uh, I don't change them depending on who's in office and who's saying it and all that stuff. Uh, I'm against bans in general for most things. And somebody commented on that video this morning actually and said, "Well, there used to be opium and stuff. Are you against banning that?" That I know that was intended to be a gotcha question, but actually, no, I wouldn't ban opium either. No, I don't. I don't think things should have to be banned. Yeah, yeah. Nice try, buddy, but no. I wouldn't ban opium. I wouldn't ban heroin. Hell, I wouldn't ban meth. If you want to sit on your porch and smoke crack all day and ruin your life, so long as you don't hurt other people and you stay on your porch and you don't hurt anybody and you don't get out and force somebody else to do your meth too, have at it. Smoke away, buddy. I don't think it's government's place to protect us from ourselves. If we're too dumb to make our own good decisions, then we deserve to suffer the consequences. And I think that's the thing is that people think they want to be free, but they really don't. They really want things to be handed to them and not have to make their own choices. Big Daddy Government has always been overbearing for so long, most wouldn't know what to do without being told to. Exactly. Exactly. You know, and I think too, it's like right now, what am I drinking? What do y'all think I'm drinking right now? I bet Chris can guess what's in my cup. It is one thing that I've cut down on, and I am. It's the one processed thing that I that I am consuming at the moment. I totally agree. Well, I'm headed out. Gotta get ready for appointment. See you later, sir. Stay safe and good. God bless. Same to you, sir. Have a good day. Thanks for stopping in and hanging out. That's right. Chris got it. It's Mountain Dew. It's usually Mountain Dew in my glass. I don't drink coffee. I don't like coffee. I grew up in the Mormon church. They don't drink coffee or tea, so I never acquired a taste for it. Uh, but yeah, it's Mountain Dew. So the thing is, I know that Mountain Dew is bad for me. It contains the dyes that are being banned or whatever. I saw RFK's speech the other day, and he said sugar is poison. You know, people say, well, these dyes are poison. Well, he also said sugar is poison. Shall he also ban sugar? Shall we do that as well? I know Mountain Dew's bad for me, but not once ever in my life have I thought to myself, man, this is not a good idea. I shouldn't be drinking this. So I wish the government needs to ban that so I can stop. So I'll stop drinking it. That never crossed my mind. Never one time. Never in my life about anything. Yeah, it. You're right. I should be able to drink whatever I want. It's my body. That's true. And I think too, like with that, and I don't want to keep harping on the whole dye thing, but for me, it's not about the dye. It's not about the ingredients. It's about the principles. It's about the principles that I stand for, and that's principles of liberty, even for companies, because individuals, citizens own companies. Um, and people don't want to say that. Are companies putting things that are bad into food? Yeah. Well, no, nobody's disagreeing with that. But a well informed and a society that if they care will sort that out without government. And like I said, if they don't care and they're not educated and they're not responsible, then if they are really free, then they will be left to suffer the consequences of their choices. If you're not left to suffer the consequences of your choices and grow and learn from that, then you're not free. It's the principle. And people said I was fired up about the dye ban. It's not the dye. It's not that. It's the lack of accountability and responsibility on the part of people. And people said too, well, we're priced out. Well, we can't. It's hard to make good decisions when You can't afford to make good decisions. I think also another cop out and also a lack of responsibility. The median income reported in the United States is $61,000. That's not the uh, the average, because higher income people have skewed that a little bit, but the median income is $61,000 per year. I was making $65,000 a year before I quit my last job. I tell you, I could afford healthy food. If I could afford to pay $1,000 a month for the Lincoln MKZ that I was driving, then I could afford healthy food. To say that people can't afford it or they're priced out by companies is it's just not true. If the average income is $61,000 a year and you're piled up with debt and all these things, but you can't afford real food, that you have to buy junk food, that is not a policy issue. Once again, that is a accountability, a personal responsibility issue. And I don't think legislation can fix that in the long term. The population has to, as a whole, in general, be more responsible. We put band-aids on issues, but don't actually fix the real problem. And the real problem is people's dependency and lack of accountability. I don't turn to government to fix anything for me. If they can't, they need to. If they can, they need to learn to grow their own food and how to properly preserve it, even if it's a balcony garden in the city. Exactly. And I know there may be people on here that disagreed with my stance on things when it comes to that and how hard-nosed, like, libertarian I am on things, but I think it's because I care about the American people and I care about the country, and I don't believe that treating people like children and trying to, protect them is in their best interest. I mean, look at a parent. What if a parent did everything for their children their whole lives, like into their adulthood, and told them what's safe for them to eat and what you can and can't do all the time, and they never ever gained the ability to make decisions for themselves and to think for themselves and to make mistakes? Because we learn the most from the mistakes that we make. But if people were never given that opportunity, I think that's almost like abusive, teach a man to fish kind of thing, I just, I think the best thing for the American people sometimes is to let them sink. Yeah, you'd think they could eventually get tired of being told what to do all the time, but I don't know. I don't know, Grace. Like people. I think just people like being told what to do, for real. Because, like I said, I don't think people want to make decisions for themselves. I really don't. And people have said too, like, well, every other country has banned these things. Well, we're not every other country, right? Like, other countries also don't have a Second Amendment. Other countries also don't have elections. So I don't really give a shit what other countries have all done. I don't really care, right? Other countries don't have a constitution. There are other countries that don't believe in certain inalienable rights. So the whole other countries have done it argument thing doesn't really stand up with me. Uh, so, yeah, when it comes to what other countries have done, whatever, I don't. Okay? Irrelevant. Oh man. I think one of my children has been down here messing with my tools. Oh, no, there it is. My son likes to come down here and he will hide tools from me. Yeah, they give up their pews and look at them now. Like the UK. It must be the UK having anti-knife ownership propaganda and on public TV. Yeah. Does anybody here right now disagree with me? Does anybody think that I mean, even Grace, Chris, anybody, do y'all think that these things should be banned? I mean, like, I don't want everybody to agree with me all the time. If you don't say you do if you don't. But I don't think that babysitting grown ass adults is in their best interest. I think all it does is create more dependency, and we don't need more of that. I agree with you on this much. That's cool. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad I'm not alone. I know Randall. Well, Randall Grunt Proof. He agrees with me 100%. He's been posting about that for months now. Ever since they started talking about banning dyes, and he made the same thing. He's like, "Oh, I can't make my own decisions, so I need government." Or what? He posted something. It was this gigantic dude sitting on the couch, and it was like he was like, "Thank God government's banning shitty food so I can stop eating it." There's a side of me that like the idea of the bullshit dyes being gone, but I agree with what you said about who decides. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think companies should remove the stuff. Uh, but I just don't think it's, yeah, like you said, I don't think it's government's place to do that. I think that I honestly, I don't think average American actually cares. For real. Like, people can say they do because it's a current issue and it's a current talking point. But people say, well, I want all these dyes out of my food. And then they go to Walmart and buy a bunch of shit food with a bunch of dyes and even worse stuff in it, you know? So, like, I don't think the average American actually cares. Even if they say they do. So as you can see, the belt is more matte than the holster right now because I haven't put the Vaseline on it to finish it. But I'll have to wait for the belt itself to dry. But got the brass buckle on it now. Got these holes punched. Now we'll just have to punch all the slots and weave the cartridge loops through. Ta-da! Yeah. So in the morning, I don't know if I'll wait and do this in the morning or not, but I'll probably go live again in the morning, and if y'all want to join in while the cartridge loops are being finished up. But then again, I might do it this afternoon. I don't know. Either way, I think I might start doing these lives every morning while I'm working and just chit chat and bring folks along in the workshop here. And I'll just do it on this channel because I want to start doing more lives on this channel. I need to start. Oh shit! I want to start doing more content. Period on this channel, because um, I need to start. Yeah, I need to start doing more on this channel because this channel is. That'll get your watch hours up for sure. Yeah, for sure. Wait, hold on a second. Right. Where does it end? And if they are starting the bands, reach, that'll get your watch hours up. Yeah. I want to start doing more on this channel too because the leather work hasn't been going the greatest recently, and honestly, I think it's just because a lot of people haven't had much disposable income to spend on things that they don't. Can y'all hear me still? I don't know if you can still hear me, but I think a lot of people just don't have as much disposable income to buy things like leatherwork that they don't absolutely have to have. So I think maybe doing more content on this channel may lead more people to my website. And if anybody, once again, I see some more people have come in. If you want some leather work or want more stuff on information and videos and articles on preparedness, head over to modernfrontiersman.com. You can also subscribe to my other YouTube channel, Modern Frontiersman. All those things are linked and related. It's all about self-reliance, responsibility, becoming a better person, being prepared, Minuteman stuff. It's all in that self-reliance realm. And I think that some people don't even get that. It's kind of weird. And I think some people are just dumb, to be honest with you. Some people... Oh, my cigarette's broken. I've seen some comments before in the past where people are like, are you a leather worker or a prepper? Or is this channel about current events or is it about prepping? Like, or is this about Minuteman stuff? Like, but do you not realize that all those things are related? Like, do you not realize that it's all in the same universe? It's all in the same world of self-reliance and freedom. It's like that's why on Modern Frontiersman on that channel, I reduced the description down to very narrow, or to more actually really broad. Self-reliance equals freedom. That's the whole description of the channel. That captures everything. Imagine just being yourself. Yeah, that's right. like people are only do one thing. It's just like the fitness dudes that say stop training until you're fit. It makes no fucking sense. Like, you're fat, you shouldn't be training, and then turn around and you need to be training because you're fat. Like, bro, what are you talking about? But yeah. People are so weird. And it's not even just in the YouTube comments. Like, I hear like when I'm out and about every day, especially in my little part-time job, people say, I hear people constantly saying the most ridiculous things. Like, people have really lost the ability of critical thinking and be able to think for themselves in any kind of way. And you hear people just repeating things, like repeating what they heard on Fox News, or then the other side repeating what they heard on whatever other news stations are out there. I don't even freaking know because I don't watch any of them. But people are dumb. and saying people are dumb on my business YouTube channel live, where there's people who probably that aren't familiar with me or my channel, are probably like, what the fuck? This is probably counterproductive to be saying that stuff on my business channel, but whatever. Welcome to Modern Frontiersman / Fortners Frontier Leather. We don't believe in political correctness. Oh yeah, hello, and they repeat it word for word so you know exactly where it came from. Yeah, that's right. They do. You know, my grandparents do that as well, and uh, God, you know, and like people will bring stuff up that's not even related to what's going on. It's like, dang, them mosquitoes sure are bad this year. Yep, them damn Democrats probably. Like, what? What are you talking? Like everything goes back to one political side or the other. Damn, it's hot this year. Yeah. Probably global warming or the damn Democrats manufacturing global warming. It's just hot. It's like I just said it's hot. That's all. Yep, Democrat skeeters and sons of bitches. If John Willis could create promo codes for first names of problem customers, you find, dude. who is this? I'm sorry, but I don't know who that is. But doing that is hilarious. Who is this guy? I have to know who this is. John Willis. I know that name, but it's not coming to me who that is. Promo code is the first name problem. SOE. Oh, oh, that I didn't know he did that. That's hilarious. I want to start doing that, dude. How 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 funny would it be if I make a discount code Trench Karen? That would be fantastic. Head over to Fortners Frontier Leather or head over to modernfrontiersman.com. Use coupon code Trench Grenade to get 50% off your next order. That would be hilarious. It would probably get so pissed off. Oh, Chris, you're gonna get me in trouble. I'm gonna have to do that now. I'm gonna have to make a little like really quick like 3-second ad where it's like it throws people off. Like, wait, what did he just say? And but actually make it an actual discount code. Dude, people might go shop at modernfrontiersman.com just to be able to use that discount code. That's hilarious. Dude, I'm gonna have to. Did he say that? Did he say that he does that in the video? I'm gonna have to message him in a minute and give him props for that. That's great. That's freaking hilarious. He's made videos of it. That's awesome. Thank you for telling me that, because yeah, I totally see some really good discount codes coming soon. I might have to find all those the repeat haters in the comment sections on Modern Frontiersman and do that as well. That's freaking funny. Oh man. So while I'm sitting here, I'm gonna have to go in just a second, but get ready to go to the school. But are there any leather items that you guys can think of that maybe some new items, some products that I could make that would like a tractor coming down the road? That I could make that maybe would sell, that would get that the preparedness self-reliance community might benefit from, that they would want to buy. Because I ask that question sometimes in comments or in posts, and And people will answer, but then those people don't actually go buy things if I make them. So trying to think of some different ideas and some things, some leather items that I could make. But I think some of the problem too is the when it comes to getting sales from the preparedness community is that they've gotten so it's gotten so tactical and like you said commercialized that people don't um, people want to buy kydex and buy tactical pouches and all this stuff and like I said they think leather is fuddy even though we know that's not true. I cut out there for a second I think, but it doesn't make them look like operators. Bushcraft type stuff, yeah. Maybe just not even market to the tactical gun guys because they've gone so off the deep end into the tactical gear. I don't think there's even any point in even marketing to that crowd. But I think maybe yeah the bushcraft type stuff. I think that's probably you're probably right. That's the way to go. Not the tactical guys. It's funny, even though I've been in combat and all that stuff, I don't feel like I fit in all the time with those dudes because they're so like you said, everything's just so commercialized and so kind of gimmicky sometimes and uh, misinformed and romanticized, and they just kind of want to look like some movie movie operators. Bushcraft guys love leather and canvas gear. That is true. Maybe I could do some. I do have some belt pouches and like possibles pouches and stuff. Maybe if maybe I'll upload some new video. Maybe I'll make a few and upload some videos and make sure to put bushcraft in the titles. You know, do all the search engine optimization towards towards the bushcraft crowd. Do some research into keywords and tags on on that type of stuff. Maybe a garden hod with leather handles. Yeah, I've been thinking about that too. Maybe some like garden type stuff. I thought about one time I made a little leather bag, like a round leather bag with a flat bottom on it, like for gathering uh, crops and stuff, and I would use it. So like when I'd go out to pick okra and stuff, I'd use this leather bag, and it was oil tan, so it wouldn't it would resist water and stuff like that. But I've thought about that as well, little like harvesting bags and things like that. Heck yeah. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna try some different stuff. I'll do some research. I've been trying to think of things that can really help the self reliance. The self reliance minded people. Things that aren't already made and try to find different ways to advertise as well. Ways that people aren't doing that might could stand out. That it's hard to stand out when it comes to leatherwork and stuff because so much stuff has already been done, and I don't want to like try to reinvent the wheel or anything, but there's feels kind of limited sometimes on what you can do. So I've been trying to think of some crazy off the wall kind of type of stuff. What about leather garden tool belt? That's a good idea. Yeah, could do something like that. I can make and I can make them what like one size too. Like make them wear like those like the tool belts that have the holes all the way around instead of them being a certain size, so they can adjust like wildly
to fit just about anybody. Do that and put some little loops around them or something where you can stick little tools down in the belt and stuff. That might would be cool. Yeah, that's a good idea. And I don't that wouldn't even have to be like really thick leather too. That could even be like thinner leather, because it's not like that's having to hold up a lot of weight or anything. Just to hold up garden tools. Go to Rendezvous and set up a stand? Yeah. Yeah, I used to go to some powwows around here, but stuff never sold at those because people didn't want to pay. People always try to haggle, and I'll give you this bag of arrowheads for, I shit you not. I'll give you this bag of arrowheads that I got hanging around my neck for a holster. The guy actually said, oh, no, dog. I don't need a bag of arrowheads. I need you to pay me. people are so weird. I give you $5 cash money for that $80 holster. I bet you will, buddy. $5 cash money. I had one holster. It was really detailed, really intricate tooling and stuff, and I had it sell for $100. This guy walked up, you know the typical pulling their pants up, and looking at it, like he really knows what he's looking at, knows what he's talking. He's an expert on these holsters. And he said, "That's a pretty nice holster." I was like, "Thank you, sir. What you want for it?" I said $100. He turned out like he's gonna walk off, and then he turns back around and picks it up again, looks at it, and $100. I said, "Yes, sir. That holster took me hours to make." I tell you what, you take cash? I was like, "Yeah, I'll take cash." I give you $25 for it. I was like, "No, sir. No, how about 30? No, 100. You won't budge on it?" "No, sir. It's $100. I ain't paying $100. All right, have a nice day." Yeah, the guys that says they can make it cheaper themselves. Yeah, that's right. Go for it. Go for it. You're gonna go home and learn leather work in an hour, and then make the holster. Yeah, in less time and for less money than I did with 10 years of experience doing leather work. Go for it. If you can make it cheaper, go right ahead. Yeah, invest in all those tools. Like, bruh, like people don't know. Like, I don't have that many tools and stuff compared to a lot of people, but I still like what is in my shop is, I mean, expensive. People don't know how much this stuff is. Like, okay, so right here is most of my stuff. Like, I got some tool, like it's mostly cutting stuff, but all kind of clips and buckles and things in here. And then all these stamps and other stuff, the wing dividers, punches, awls. Freaking daubers aren't cheap. All this different dies down here. And then plus underneath all this mess is more tools and junk. And then all this leather. It's like thousands of dollars worth of stuff right there. But you gonna go make it cheaper? Go right ahead. If you do, tell me how you did it, because I could have saved a lot of money. But hey guys, thanks for joining me this morning. It's kind of fun. Just I know maybe I tried to offer a few bits of valuable information, valuable information here and there. I hope, but I'm having fun the last 2 days just talking to y'all while I work. Uh, maybe I'll start doing this every morning that I'm working, and then whoever wants to come join, they can, and whoever don't, won't. My daughter took my last bottle of Phoebe's British Tan and daubered down the dining. Oh, ooh, that's bad. That was a mess. Suggestion for a good mallet. The one I just got is good. Hold on. I would recommend don't get those. I know a lot of people recommend those rawhide mallets. I wouldn't get one. You could get one of these. This is Crash Tool from Tandy. There's like a, I don't know what these are. This is the Bakelite, but the rawhide ones will start to fall apart. But this Bakelite one seems to be pretty good. Which I think it's like $50. But then you can get those round ones too that got the felt wrapped around them as well. I've never used one of those, and I haven't bought them because they're too expensive. I don't want to spend a shitload of money on a mallet, but I've also tried to use some smaller like rubber mallets as well too, but the leather tools end up tearing the mallet head apart, and they don't have enough weight to them either. But that Bakelite one is I've been using it for a couple months. I just bought it last time I went to Tandy, and I like it. And it doesn't seem to be ripping apart like the rawhide ones do. But guys, I got to get ready to go to my kids' school and have a picnic with them. Thank y'all for joining me. It's been fun. I don't know who all's in here right now, but thank y'all, especially if there's anybody new. You can subscribe here. Head over to Modern Frontiersman and subscribe there. Go to modernfrontiersman.com if you want to buy some handcrafted leather work. And also have that preparedness guide for beginner preppers there that you can download for free. I'm going to do some more downloadable content like that as well. But yeah, all my content isn't me just rambling and working like this. There's some well put together, well thought out content there as well. I hope y'all enjoyed hanging out much as I've enjoyed y'all being here. Grit and Grace, Jacob, Chris, thanks, and y'all have a good day. And as always, stay self-reliant.